Hello, Magic Muse. Welcome back to As Above, So Below. Today we're going to be chatting about trance work or hypnotherapy. And I think a lot of people have a perception of what trance work is and what, hypnotherapy is. There's a lot of stuff that we've been shown on, through Hollywood and all of that stuff, with hypnotherapy being with, the watch, and you just kind of like do your thing, and they have you do all these crazy things. But trance work or hypnotherapy is actually very healing and very powerful. So, with trance work, you are becoming more suggestible. And I know that that can be a little weird for people to think, but it actually helps you to reprogram your thoughts, your beliefs, and it also gives a lot of insight on to why you operate the way that you do. So, for example, I do hypnotherapy, and a lot of the clients that I see are struggling with um, blocks, including like confidence, or why they have these reoccurring patterns that come up, or why these reoccurring thoughts keep coming up. And a lot of the times it stems back to inner child work. And I know for a lot of my clients, they come in and they have questions, but it 9 times out of 10 reverts back to inner child work. So we're starting with the root of what's going on. And if you suffer from anxiety, depression, your nervous system is always kind of on fight or flight. Yes, your external circumstances can have a lot to do with that. So, if your living situation isn't stable, or a lot of that can play into your nervous system, but a lot of it, while you are living in fight or flight mode or hypervigilance, has to do with some belief system that you have picked up in childhood, in your developmental years. And this is also true to looking at specific, deities and spirit animals and everything. I remember when I was initiated into the craft, I had an unprovoked shamanic journey. And I later recognized that my soul kind of went off on its own journey. So somebody was reading a meditation prompt, but my soul's like, nope, we're going over here. We're doing this thing. And that's how I found my power animal, which is the panther. And it's so interesting because that I remember it so vividly. So what happens in trance is we are moving our active mind, which is in beta all day. So our waking world is in beta, and we are moving it down into alpha and even sometimes theta brainwaves. So it is relaxing the mind. It is allowing memories and thoughts and your soul to come through with information, with healing. And that's where kind of the juncture point is, where you can reprogram your subconscious to help rewire your beliefs. And a lot of the times when you pick up some belief, it had to do with you being really permeable in your development. And it's not your fault, but a lot of the times we pick this up and we play it out in our waking world. And that can come in the form of money blocks, of relationship issues, of not feeling good enough, of, smoking, weight gain, all of these things. And when you can get in there and work with the subconscious and really figure out why it is playing out in this manner, 9 times out of 10, it's because it's trying to protect you. And you can go back in and say, thank you for trying to protect me. I am ready to release this belief now. It is not serving me. Thank you for serving me when it did, but it doesn't serve me anymore. And you can then start to shed that. Talk therapy helps a lot, but sometimes it needs to go a little bit deeper into, when your waking world, you're thinking about all of these things. And I've done this a lot in therapy, where I'm, just talking, and after the session, I'm like, I feel like I needed to go deeper with what's going on. And a lot of the times it takes a while for talk therapy to give you results. Whereas hypnotherapy is like, all right, let's get down and down and dirty. Let's get to the nitty gritty of what's going on. And I love, talk therapy and hypnotherapy working together, because it really helps bring a lot of change and a lot of results. But it really shows you what is playing out for you. And this is also the same for, if you are attracting any sort of narcissistic partners, or you are just seeing the same pattern over and over again, or you are afraid to be seen. You know, it's allowing your soul and allowing your mind, your emotions, all of your fields to open up, to be able to look at something in a safe place. And I've had people have big releases on the table, had people have to really like sit with the information for quite some time. And that is totally normal. You have to really move at your own pace with it, because it really peels back a lot of layers that you probably didn't even know was there. And if you are looking for a good read, what really got me into hypnotherapy was The Convoluted Universe by Dolores Cannon. It really dives into past life stuff. It dives into the mysteries of Egypt and Atlantis, and I feel very connected to Atlantis and Lemuria. And when listening to that, it just blew my mind, because she was able to get information from people who were living at the time when the pyramids were built, or at a time when Atlantis, get information on why it fell, on the energetic fracking that it was doing, on the manipulation that they were causing with, merging animals and humans. Like it blew my mind, the information that I received from that book, that I was like, this is just transformational for people in their healing. So yes, a lot of the times you can use it for past life regressions, but the trick to getting in that state is relaxation. And a lot of the times for me, it's drumming. So ritual drumming, that just really takes me to another place, because it's the rhythm. I'm very like musically, I'm connected to music. So that clairaudience is like, all right, let's do this. It's also the sound of heartbeat. And I've seen my deaths in past life. I've seen that I was actually a midwife in a past life. I've seen me being hung in a past life. It really cracks your soul open to a whole other level, and it helps you understand why you are playing things out. And oftentimes, if you have a fear of something like a phobia or anything like that, you can use hypnotherapy or trance to go back and distinguish the root of where that came from. So for me, I'm afraid of heights. I don't like being near a cliff or anything like that. Like, I've just always had a fear of that. I've had a fear of flying. I don't know where that comes from, but I have also seen little glimmers. I haven't seen a whole preview, but I've seen uh, snippets of me being close. It looked like whales, like that cliff, and then there's just ocean and then the sand down at the bottom. But I saw me standing next to a cliff, and I felt me falling. So I'm sure that also stems from that. So um yeah, trance and hypnotherapy really cracked you wide open, but in the best way. So, but if you are interested in booking a session, we can do it online as long as you have headphones and like a little mic. Uh, that way I can hear you and you can hear me. But that really, it rocks your world in the best way. So if that's something that you're interested in, the link for it is in the description box below. I would love to be, the mediator for that for you. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Pop your questions or comments down in the comments below. I would love, love, love to interact with you. This is a subject that is very near and dear to me, and I would love to help you guys open up even more. So, all right, Magic Muse, thank you for being here. Blessed be. Bye.